There's a bitter truth not many are willing to say out loud after 65. Not everyone gets to keep family by their side. Some lose their spouse overnight. Some have kids, but never get a single call. Some have money, but no one left to share a meal with. You can spend your whole life giving, sacrificing, saving, only to wake up one day and realize the things you thought would always be there are the first to leave. But here's what I learned from my own aunt, who at 92 still lives peacefully, independently, without relying on anyone. There are 4 pillars, not money, not children, that will truly hold you steady after 65. In this video, I'll share them with you. They're simple, practical, but often forgotten. If you're in your 60s, 70s, or even just worrying about your parents, stay with me till the end. Even if you remember just one of these pillars, it could change how you experience your later years. And if any part of this resonates with you, please tap like to let me know you're listening. And don't hesitate to share this with someone who might need it, because maybe you are someone's last remaining pillar too. Pillar 1, a body you can count on. You know, after 70, a simple fall can mean never standing up the same again. I say this first because it's the easiest to lose and the most valuable, your health. Turning 70 taught me something real. If your body stops cooperating, nothing else really matters. Not passion, not friendship, not even a good night's sleep. I used to think staying active or eating right was just for show. At 50, I drank soda every day, sat for hours and thought, I'm still strong. I'll be fine. Truth is, I was borrowing strength from my future. That lesson hit hard when my sister Margaret slipped in the bathroom at 83, one fall, a broken hip, a walker, then a wheelchair. And then she never left the house again. She used to say proudly, I don't need anyone, Rob. But the last time I visited, she held my hand and quietly said, if I'd just kept my legs strong, I would have lived a different life. Since then, I changed. Quietly, no big declarations. I started waking up earlier, walking slow laps around the neighborhood, sometimes just to hear the birds. I cut back on processed food, drank more water, stretched every night. Not to look younger, but to hold on to what I still had. If you're hearing this and your body's been complaining more lately, know this. It's not turning against you, it's crying out for help. Just come back to it. Start slow, one step at a time. Not to go faster, but so you don't have to stop too soon. Can you remember the last time you walked without feeling tired? If so, comment, I can still walk. Let me know you're still here, still walking beside me. Because as long as your legs can move, the rest of life can still unfold ahead of you. Pillar 2, a flexible mind. We all know the body gets weaker with age, but there's something that fades even faster, yet most people don't notice it, the way we see the world. I've seen so many folks over 60 slowly close themselves off. They stop learning new things, avoid anything unfamiliar, dismiss opinions that challenge their own. Bit by bit, they shrink into a small, lonely world, just them and their memories. And honestly, that scares me more than getting sick. Because when your mind shuts down, your heart often follows. You're still alive, but you've stopped really living. I remember when I was 66, and my grandson tried teaching me how to use a smartphone. At first, I was frustrated, kept tapping the wrong things, couldn't follow the menus, but I stuck with it. And little by little, I learned how to video call, send photos, and even browse YouTube. It felt like seeing the world open up again and realizing I still belonged in it. Now, I challenge myself to learn something new every month. Sometimes it's reading about AI. Other times, cooking a dish I've never made. Not to be an expert, just to stay connected. I don't want to become that grumpy old man who refuses to change. I want to be 90 and still curious, still excited about what life has to offer. Not stuck in the past, but leaning toward what's next. If you're thinking, I'm too old for that stuff, I get it. But I truly believe, as long as you're still curious, your mind is still alive. So, what new thing are you learning this month? If you've got something, comment. Still curious. Let me know you're not giving up. Pillar 3, a warm heart. I used to think the older we got, the steadier we'd feel. But the truth? The older we get, the easier the heart starts to go cold. Not because we're bitter, but because we've seen so much loss. Loved ones gone, old friends past, health declining. Even things we thought would always be there suddenly vanish. So we pull back, we talk less, we stop reaching out. We don't dare say, I need someone to talk to. I went through that around 68. One morning I realized I didn't have anyone I could just call and ask, how have you been? Friends had drifted, some had passed on. The kids were busy, and I don't blame them. I started to believe this was just how old age worked, that loneliness was something you simply had to accept. Then one cold morning, I walked into a little cafe near my house, just trying to stay warm. The owner, a younger man, sat down beside me and asked, "You usually come here on Fridays?" That small question turned into a regular friendship. He didn't replace my family, but every week we had a little chat about music, food, the weather. And I realized something that day. The heart only stays cold when you don't let anyone in. So now I do simple things. I smile at the cashier. I text good night to an old friend. And most importantly, I don't bottle up my sadness. Because sometimes just saying it out loud lightens the load. What about you? Has your heart ever felt like it was freezing over? If you relate, drop a comment. Opening back up. Because someone out there may be waiting for just that small, warm connection. Pillar 4, a quiet place. Inside, I've picked up a habit that people like to say only the old folks do. I take walks by myself. No phone, no earbuds, no goal. Just walking, to hear the wind, to feel the sun between the leaves, and to sit quietly with my own thoughts. I used to think meditation and philosophy were kind of, well, out there. But the older I get, the more I understand. When the noise outside goes quiet, and your mind still feels noisy, what you need is a place to plant your soul. I don't follow any particular religion, but I do believe there's something bigger than me. Maybe it's nature, maybe it's time, maybe it's the quiet kindness that still exists between strangers. I've started reading ancient wisdom, Marcus Aurelius, Lao Tzu, Buddhist teachings, not to be enlightened, but to learn how people before me faced fear. Fear of aging, of loss, of being left behind. I once read this line, happiness doesn't come from chasing big things. It comes from doing small things, meaningfully, every day. That line stuck with me. Now, when I do the dishes, I just wash the dishes. When I water the plants, I stop and smell the leaves. And you know what? I feel more alive. We can't keep everything. Not our loved ones, not our health, not even our sharpness of mind. But if we have a place for the soul to return to, then even when the world changes, we remain grounded. If you're searching for that place too, comment, "Finding my way back." Because sometimes we don't need someone to hold us down. We just need roots to hold on to. When all that's left is you, you are still enough. I don't know where you're watching this from. A quiet home, a retirement community, maybe just a little room after the kids moved out. But what I do know is this: you are not alone. I've sat alone too. Looked around and thought, is there anyone left? And then I remembered, I'm still here. And if I treat myself well with care and respect, then every day is still worth living. These 4 pillars I've shared, they're not theory. They're things I've tried. Sometimes I gave up on them. Sometimes I came back. I regret not starting sooner, but I'm grateful it wasn't too late. If you can still walk, walk. If you can still learn, learn. If you can still feel, share that warmth. And if your soul feels lost, be still and let it find its way home. Final message: as long as you're still here, everything is still possible. If you've stayed with me all the way to this point, then I know you're someone who truly cares about how you age. And that, my friend, is something special. I spent years learning one simple truth: no one else can live your life for you. Not your children, not your spouse, not even your doctor, your health, your mind, your peace. It all starts with you. You might be living alone. You might be caring for someone who's fading. Or maybe you're still strong, but worried about what's next. I don't have all the answers, but I do know this: as long as you're breathing, thinking, feeling, everything is still possible. You can still get up and walk, still learn to use FaceTime, still greet a stranger in the park, still read one quiet line from an old book, and feel peace again. Growing old doesn't have to mean losing everything. It can mean choosing again. Choosing to take care of yourself, to live more simply, to forgive what's behind you, to begin again, no matter what age the calendar says. If you've made it this far, I only ask one thing: don't let tomorrow be just like today. Do one small thing: a short walk, a healthy meal, a kind message, or just 5 minutes alone, listening to your own heartbeat. If you're walking this path too, leave a comment below. Not for me, for you. To say, I'm still here, and I still want to live well. Thank you for listening. If this video touched something in you, please click like, so I know you're out there. Subscribe if you'd like to keep walking this journey with me. And if there's someone in your life who's also entering this stage, share this video with them. Because sometimes one voice, one story is just enough to lift someone up, right when they need it most.